going back to the beginnings of the Glasgow Centre for Population Health and the kinds of conversations that Harry and I had in his office when we were both working for NHS Greater Glasgow, him as the Director of Public Health and me as the Chairman. I mean, what he said today was exactly like what it was in 2005. Ideas coming out, philosophies, the particular literature that had inspired his views. And I had to deliver the targets of the Health Board, and to some extent this was slightly philosophical for me. But I learned very quickly that you should not disregard what Harry Burns says. And by the way, he didn't tell me about the purple dress code, so I decided to wear pink. But these discussions led us to seriously think, when we looked at the pattern of health and inequalities across our city and the wider region of Glasgow, of the Greater Glasgow Health Board area, and you looked at these on a blackboard, you were looking, I've heard about the tale of two cities, but you were really at that time looking at a tale of two cities in terms of the performance, the position in terms of health and welfare in the most affluent and the most disadvantaged communities. And I think that inspired us, along with all the work that we did on a routine basis with the Health Board, to realise that just having a health improvement policy wasn't enough. We actually had to engage with the fundamentals of what caused this divide and what could you do about it. And so you've seen from Robert the four partners who formed the Glasgow Centre. And it was in a rolling series of discussions that we had with people in their offices after hours in these four places that kind of generated, I think you would agree, Harry, the energy and the commitment that something had to be done. And we actually then put the idea to the current minister, Malcolm Chisholm. And Malcolm is a quiet man, but he very quickly actually grasped the fact that something here was necessary. And he stuck by that, and the initial investment came for starting the centre. And from then on, it's gone on. And tomorrow we will have another meeting of the advisory group, and that will be a hard-headed meeting where we look to Carol to explain how she plans to go into the future, what the financial situation is, what the staffing position is, the kind of point that was raised in relation to people who are coming in for short periods and the advantage that we get from that and what they get from that. And we will drive the centre on. So that process will continue, and what I would like to say at this point is Carol is an absolutely remarkable, inspiring, practical, focused strategist. We are very, very, very lucky to have her at the head of the organisation, and I'm sure it will go from health to health, strength to strength. I think some of the things we've talked about today are extremely interesting. I think we're on the cusp of making real practical changes and developing ideas and practices which other people can follow in other cities and learning from other cities. And we've learned a lot from looking at examples of these situations in Europe and so on. But we do have to come back to the practical point that it's all very well to have very learned seminars. It's all very well to think about these things, but we actually do have to deliver. And I think that's what David was saying, that somehow we have to connect the theory, the ideas, the projected practices into a deliverable package. And that's not going to be easy because these things are, we are better organised and better focused in Scotland with this centre than almost anywhere else that I can think of. So the last thing I want to say, and that's really all I want to say, I think we've done a tremendous job. I think this has been another great seminar. I think we will go from strength to strength and hopefully succeed in being funded year on year. I have to confess that I am a very keen bird watcher, and I like starlings. And, you know, there aren't enough of them. They are actually disappearing. But if you look, I'm going to get poetic now, if you look at a cloud of starlings against a setting sun when they congregate at night, and the patterns that they weave in the sky, these patterns are so well coordinated, they remind me of the Glasgow Centre for Population Health.